Hello everybody, welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So this is an episode that comes out the last day of every month. It's called New Material or Album Hauls if you prefer. I do this once a month. It's just basically me talking about what I purchased for the month or what I've been given or what I got as a gift or however. Not anything I've stolen though, so I don't go along those routes at all. Try to play it straight. That's the way my parents used to say. So anyways, I've only got 14 this month, which actually turned out to be not too bad considering I didn't get started till fairly late in the month. Now that I'm not living in the same area I was, I've had to investigate some new sites, and with all the stuff going on and time has just been consuming. I've only in the last week or so since I started doing the shows again been able to do anything. So I did find one place that had quite a few things that I was interested in, and I got them for a fairly good price, so I got them. So we're going to do this. Basically, I've got it from pop through to hard rock to heavy metal to progressive rock at the bottom and some strange stuff in the middle. So we're going to start with the first one I got, which is a band that I've become a little bit interested in, a little bit more than I was, mostly because of Ben. He gave me one of their albums as an album to review, and on Ben's album challenge, and I said to myself, I always mix these guys up with somebody else, and I didn't like the other band. So this, once I heard these guys, I liked them quite a bit, a little bit more than I thought I would. So I got 3 of them actually, because it was a 2 for $3 sale, and then there was another place where they had one as well. So we'll start with this one. It's called Welcome to Wherever You Are by In Excess. 3 guys on the cover there, 3 kids. It's got 12 tracks on it. This album was released in 92 mixed by Bob Clear Mountain, produced by Mark Opez. So album's in pretty good shape, as you can see. I always check everything when I buy it now. You have to, because people will sell you a bag of garbage if you let them. And it has a book. Even though it's a bit of an older, I don't think this is a remastered release, although I could be wrong. Some shots of the guys here. More pictures. I guess this is a menage of pictures. Anyways, the book is quite good. Gives all of the pictures. There they are there. You can see that. This is kind of a new wave-ish band, I guess you might want to call them. Another shot of them, 6 of them. Australian band as well, and so I've come to like them quite a bit. I'm getting into it more as time goes on. You've got this one here. Page shows you Andrew and his brother John Ferris, and then you got Gary Beers, and some more shots here of them in their checkered polyester washing the dishes clothes. And yeah, so it's pretty decent looking album. It's in good place. I look forward to doing kind of a listen to of this. I haven't gotten to this yet, but I look forward to giving it a listen. And so there you have it. Welcome to Wherever You Are by In Excess. Now the next one is also an In Excess. This is one of the 2 for 3. I got 2 of them. Full Moon, Dirty Hearts, In Excess. I think this is a little bit later release. It's a later release than the one that I just showed you, like a year after, I think. Same thing. Album's good, in good condition, as most of them are. For $3 you can't go wrong. I don't know if I'll ever be madly in love with this band. I don't think I will, but for that amount of money, it's not going to hurt me. So it's another booklet. It's pretty solid. Nice shot of them all on the cover there. So that was one. Now the third album, if I can get this back in, The only problem with taking these out to show people is that you cannot often get them back in where they belong. So the third album is this one, In Excess. I think this one is just called X, so this is probably 10th album, I would think. Released in 1990, so it's the earliest of the 3 albums. Again, nice cover inside, in good, very good condition. All 3 of them were in great condition. That was the main reason I take them. Usually you find these things at these stores for $3. They're not usually in great condition. This one has a poster, sort of. This is the album cover, but it's also a poster. So it's a little bit different than the other 2. You can see the band pretty much has that look they had when they were coming out as a new wave band back during the new wave period of rock and roll's history. So there you have it, 3 NXS albums to start. And then the next one up was the one album that I'd wanted from this band that I'd never seemed to ever be able to find, which is this one, Baby Lestrange by Heart. This was released in 1980, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I believe this is the last of that classic Heart sound from the 70s. I think this is the last album of they may have had one more that came out after it, but I think this is the last one. You know, with you've got your debut Dreamboat Annie magazine, a Little Queen, or Little Queen and Magazine, however you want to look at it, Dog and Butterfly, and this one. I think these are the last one. Another great vocal performance, of course, by, and this is a nice shot of the band, probably the last shot you'll see of these guys together, because then that's when the problems started. Things weren't working out between the Wilson sisters and their love interests, if you might say. But it still is a pretty solid album, as all of their original material was. The stuff they put out in the 90s was more popular. It did a lot more business in some ways, but it wasn't for me. I wouldn't venture to buy any of those. So then the next album up is this one, which I've never owned but always wanted to buy. Came close a couple of times, but it was beaten out because something new was on the shelf, and that was Empty Glass by Pete Townsend. Sorry, a little bit of a glare there. The videos are both really good. This is actually much heavier than than the songs you hear on the radio might indicate, although they're fairly heavy as well, like Tough Boys and Let My Love Open the Door. I guess most people think of Let My Love Open the Door as kind of the signature song of the album, and that the album all falls very much true to that form, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's maybe a bit of an outlier. It's not quite the same as the rest of the tracks. This is quite a heavier album. I wouldn't go as far as to call it heavy metal or anything, but it's bordering on hard rock. It's a great album, fantastic album. Maybe the best album that the Who put out up until turn of the century. And it's not even a Who album, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, great album. I like it a lot. Wanted to have it for a long time, so I'm happy to get it. Next one out is a Steely Dan album. I don't know if you can see that. Got this one. It cost me a bit of money. Royal Scam. Nice album. Got some good stuff on it. Album's in fantastic condition. Yeah, a little scratch, but not nearly what you would think to get of an album of this age. So this was released in '76, one of their premium albums from that time period. I like this album a lot. I haven't listened to this particular copy yet, but I'm becoming a bit of a closet Steely Dan fan. Maybe not so closety. Okay, the next album up is one that I've long wanted, and I just keep passing on it for some reason or another. I'm just looking at it for a second. I want to see what year it was. Yeah, it's not going to give it to me. Yeah, You would think that would be the first thing they would put on an album so people knew what it was, but maybe they don't like dating themselves. So anyways, this is Ziggy Stardust and the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust from David Bowie. Such a good song. And of course the Spiders from Mars. I paid a little bit more than I probably normally would for something like this, but I just wanted to have it. Oh, 72. So you're going back here. This is a long time ago. Mick Ronson, I believe, is on this album, although I don't see any credits to him, but I believe, yeah, Mick Ronson, guitars, piano, and vocals. Trevor Boulder on bass, and Mick Woodmansey on drums, and of course David Bowie on sax and vocals here. Yeah, great tune, great album. Looking forward to getting into this album. I have never actually listened to it or owned it, so I'm looking for it. This one maybe could be the worst one I bought in the deck. I took a flyer on it and tried it out. Mother Gong. I like the Gong album I have, so I thought this would be similar, but it's very different. It doesn't sound anything like that other album. It might require some listening to get into this. I'm not sure that I really want to. So you always, every once in a while, I take a chance, and I'm not always right, as you see. But it's in good condition. So, and it's different, anyways. It might take a while to get into. The album, of course, I don't know if I mentioned. The album is called I. Yeah, I. Apropos, considering the contents. Next one up, people have been at me to get into this band more than get at me. They've been on me about it. I've never really liked them. I never really got into them when I was younger. I heard, of course, Night and White Satins, and of course we're talking about the Moody Blues here. This is my first ever Moody Blues album. I saw it, and I thought, you know what? It was $8. It's not that bad of a price. Let's go. Let's do what people have been pushing me to do and get in and try to listen to them, you know. So we'll give it a try and see how it goes, right? That's all you can do, right? So the Moody Blues here. Album is not in bad condition. Needs a little bit of a cleaning up. But considering that I got it for pretty much next to nothing, it's not too bad. Now the next bunch of albums are the ones that I really like that I got. First one is this one, the two heavy metal, hard rock heavy metal albums, is Aerosmith's Rocks. This is a great album. This is during that same era that I've come to appreciate this group. This is 76 release, Rocks, Back in the Saddle, Last Child, Rats in the Cellar, Sick as a Dog, Home Tonight, Get the Lead Out. This is a hard rockin' album. I wish they were still doing this kind of stuff, but they're not. So anyways, I got that for like $6, so not too bad. This was the only Sabbath of the original Sabbath albums that I didn't own. I do have, somebody did record it for me. I do have a disc of it, and I've listened to it for years on that disc. But that disc is starting to fall apart. And I saw this one, which was the only one I didn't have, so I had to have it. I really like, the album's in great shape. A nice picture of them on the back. This, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do here. It's very weird. Those red pants. Not really happening. I don't know what Bill's thinking. Anyways, next album up. This is one that I've seen on different shows talking about it, how good it is. And just recently on a couple of shows I was watching people talking about how good this album is. So I went out, and it was $11, a little more than I normally like to pay on a shot on an album I don't know, but it is Bill Bruford. Bill Bruford, one of a kind, so anything with Bill Bruford's name on it is good to me. Even if this turns out to be more of a jazz fusion album, it's not a bad place to start with jazz fusion. I mean, you got Alan Holdsworth, Dave Stewart, and Jeff Berlin on here. pretty difficult to not like this, I think. So we'll be giving this a heavy listen to. I'm a huge fan of Bill Bruford. He's probably my second favorite drummer. So just such a talent, you know. Next is the 2 Yes albums I got, you know, and that's why I'm happy that my poster's staying in place today, because it makes it much easier than when he's always falling down and being a distraction. So the one I've been looking for some time has been this one, Fly From Here. I really like this album a lot. It may be my favorite post-classic Yes album, post-classic era Yes album. I'm not really sure why I like this so much. I just find everything about it appealing, from this awesome cover, which is to me one of the best album covers for Yes, and you know, it just goes right through to the entire album. It's so good. I mean, it's probably because it's green. As I'm wearing green, I'm a big fan of that color. It comes with an all green album, another cover there, just so good. And I listened to it as soon as I got home. It was the first one I took out to listen to, and it's exactly what I remember it to be. I know some people put the knock on this album, and there's people that don't really like John Davidson. I'm not one of them, though. I hate to say it. I am not. I happen to like him quite a bit. Do I think he's John Anderson? No, he's not. But he's a reasonable facsimile and actually a pretty good singer. The next one I got is the new Yes album, which I've done a video on. If you want to, you can go back and look at what's new. One of my What's New video. I think it's the last one I did. Yeah, another great album, Roger Dean cover. I don't know how many Roger Dean covers are out there, but they're all good. Some are better than others. This one, I like the color scheme on it. It's kind of a spacey look to it. You know, or maybe it's just a nighttime look. Mirror to the Sky. Very good. I've listened to it. It's in entirety already. I think it's a better album than The Quest. Overall, I think the songs are better than was on The Quest. The Quest did have that lead-off track, which I liked more than anything on here, but still very good. This is, of course, produced by Steve Howe again. This is minus, of course, the first album, minus Alan White in some 50 years, I think. Anyways, still great. I look forward to getting more time in with this album. I think this is a better album, like I said, a better album overall than their most recent The Quest. And yep, I look forward to it. Big Yes fan, love them. So, you know, I was thinking to myself before that album came out, I said, I wish Yes would stop making albums if they're going to keep making stuff that's not really up to snuff. But this one definitely, I think, is one of their better efforts over the last decade or two. And I really do enjoy the other Yes album that I got, Fly From Here. So I'm looking forward to listening to it. Right now I'm listening to the Gates. Is it Gates of Ascension? Keys to Ascension. I don't know why I had this Gates in my head. The Keys to Ascension albums, I've been listening to the first one, and then I've got about a half dozen Yes albums that I've actually not listened to ever before, so I'm going to play through them. It might take a year or so to get through them all, but I'm looking forward to it. They're just such a great band. Okay, so that's it for this haul for this month. So for the month of June, and the hauls, I had 14. I hope you enjoy listening to this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll be back next month with another album haul. Take care. Bye.